Hello techies, welcome to the day 15 of my 100 days coding challenge, and today I'm talking about array method. The previous day I talked about array, introduced array, and I said array is a data structure that we use to represent a list of items. We talked about the array literals and also saw the elements, that how to create an object in an array. Today I'll be talking about the array method, which means that I'm going to be explaining some of these keywords you see, which is the prototype inheritance that can be accessed with the dot operator. We have them here. You're seeing join, flat, sort, filter, find, and there are so many of them. So the prototype is an object that is attached to every method, object, array, functions, and whatever you create in JavaScript. So it is there by default, and you only invoke it when you create a function, an array, an object, a method. It's just there. So you can access it with the dot operator also. Or you can just see it as one object trying to access the properties or mentals of another object. For example, the toString is used to convert one data type to the string data type, maybe a number data type to the string data type. I'll talk about the join method, the index of method, the last index of method, and the concatenation or concat method. I'm just going to give simple examples to give you an idea of how this method works. So the first we are going to do is the toString method. The toString method is used to convert a number data type to a string data type. So I'm just going to write the last one here, concat method. So we are going to give an example of how a toString method works. I'm going to declare a variable and I'll call it phones. So I'll name my variable phones, then give it an array, like initialize an array, and I'm going to put in a string different type of phones that I know. You can put in anything, but I'm going to use phones as an object. So I'm just going to write out some phones I know. Itel, iPhone, Samsung, Techno. Okay, I think this is okay. So the first thing we're doing, the first method we are going to look at is the toString method. So I'm just going to create a variable and name it string phones. You can call your variable anything you want to call it. So let's string phones, then I'll assign it to the new value phones dot toString, the method, then in parentheses. So this is how you convert to the string data type. So console.log, the new variable string phones. In the console, you may not see the difference, but it is important for you to keep in mind that some of these methods modify the array they are called on, while some of them will leave the array unchanged. So if you give this a data type to see it, you see that it's a string data type. Let's try a number. Let's try a number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7, 7. Okay, so if I hover on this, you see that it is a string data type. Okay, so let me hover on it. You see that it is a string data type. But in the array, you can see that it is a number data type. So sometimes we collect data from our users as numbers and we want to convert those numbers to strings. So rather, we just use the toString method to receive those data as strings. The next method we are going to look at is the join method. It is quite similar to toString method. The only difference is that you can specify the separator. So I will just change from toString to join, then put a parenthesis, the backticks, and the separator. I'm using and, so I said and Airtel and iPhone and Samsung and Tecno. So you can use anything you want to use as your separator. I change this to is. You see, Airtel is iPhone, is Samsung. You can use anything as your separator. So this is just the difference between the toString and the join. The join method, you can specify the separator you want to use. You can specify the separator, unlike the toString that only converts number to string data type. The next method I'm going to talk about is the concat method. With the concat method, you can combine arrays together. So I'm going to write this concat. Then I can put as many arrays as I want to be concatenated together. So I'm just going to say phones2, then put an array, and in a string I can put any phone inside. I'm just going to use a random name. I don't know if this is the name of a phone, so I'm going to put another element. MacBook, okay. So I'm just going to remove this from the parentheses. Then add the new variable inside the parentheses. Then we go to our console. You see that the value has been added. The first value was 4, but now is 6. So the last two were added, the MacBook and the blender. So I can add I can concatenate as many things I want to concatenate together, as many arrays. Within this 3, then this 4. Then probably I would just have to add the variable to inside the parentheses. Phone 3, phone 4. Okay, I need that too, so I'm just going to change it 4. So it's going to be concatenated the way you assembled it in the parentheses. So you see this, everything is together in one array. So this is how you use the concat method to put arrays together. So the next method I'm going to be talking about is the index of. How to know the index of a particular element in an array or a particular object in an array. So I'm just going to change this from concat to index of, and then put the elements that I'm looking for, the objects that I want to know the index. So let me just put itel, put in a string, then go to the browser, and you see that the index number of itel is 0. Of course, we all know that the index starts from 0, so it's 0, 1, 2, 3. So iPhone will be 1, Samsung will be 2, Tecno will be 3. So this is how you know this index of a certain value in an array. The next we are going to talk about is the last index of. For example, you repeated a particular value twice, 3 times, or multiple times in an array, and you want to find the index of that same value, but the last one of that same value. So the last index of is what you use for that. So let me duplicate this. So I'm just going to change the name of some values. Now we're going to have Tecno twice. That's the 3rd index and the 7th index. So we're looking for the last index of Tecno, which is 7. The index number should be 7. So I'm going to go to the console and check this. So in the console, you see that Tecno is 7 as the index. This is because Tecno was repeated twice. We have the first one and the last one. So we are actually looking for the index number of the last one. So if we change this to itel, I think itel was also repeated twice. We have the first one, which is the index number of that one is 0, and the index of the second should be 3 or 4. That's 4. Go to the console, you see that it is 4. So this is how you check for the index number of a particular value in an array. fine. This will be all for today. Bye.